Hi, my name is Paul Sargent. In my last video, I went through and looked at 5 challenges that teachers might encounter when trying to implement the new AP Euro redesigned curriculum. Today, I'm going to flip that over and I'm going to show you 5 benefits of the new curriculum redesign so that we get the full picture. So that's the plan. You ready? Let's go. Number 1, I can't overstate this one, we have a curriculum. This is amazing. We are going to make history today. And the reason this is so great is because the old curriculum basically said, teach everything you possibly can. Give them every fact that's out there, and then we'll sort of decide what we're going to do. We're going to cover 6 different types of history, which we're going to divide into 3 arbitrary pairs, and then we're going to divide the entire course in half, splitting it at 18-15, and that's about all the direction we got. Other than that, it was kind of like, let's go. So we have a curriculum, we have something to follow, we can check things off. That's good. Number 2, in my opinion, the new curriculum design makes for a better story. Now, in my last video, I highlighted 2 problems, 2 chronological problems with the new curriculum. However, aside from that, I think we've got a whole lot better story here. Because of the themes, the class is going to develop something in a more understandable and a more workable format for the students. So that, for example, if we're talking about Austria-Hungary in the 19th century, we don't do what most textbooks do, which is just kind of every chapter we go, oh yeah, oh, and by the way, Austria-Hungary, they're still dealing with the problem of nationalities. So, okay, let's move on. Now we can have a constant story, and we can tell the story of Austria-Hungary in one piece. Benefit number 3. Teaching the old course, I really kind of felt like it was a bit like Trivia Crack, Jeopardy, any of those sorts of games, because it was a matter of teaching maybe, I don't know, 50,000 facts, 500 names, long chronologies of rulers, only to have 80 of them show up on the multiple choice section, and then you could pick a few to go into your 2 FRQs that the students are going to write. Now, we've got a much more focused set of information so that we know where we can focus our energy. And just let me give you an example. When I used to teach the Renaissance, I felt the need to cover every Renaissance artist that could possibly be on the test. I wanted to cover Giotto, even though he's maybe proto-Renaissance. I wanted to cover Raphael. I wanted to cover Michelangelo. I wanted to cover Brunelleschi. I tried to cover everybody. And by covering everybody and showing pieces of artwork from everybody, I don't think much of it stuck. And so now what we're given the advantage of doing is being able to choose 1 or 2 artists from the Renaissance and really get into those pieces of art, knowing that whatever artist we choose, as long as they're on the list in the gray box of the concept outline, will totally serve. And I would argue you could choose someone else and be okay. So in essence, what it does is it cuts down on the amount of material that we actually need to teach, because we can be more focused and more in depth and less cutting the surface across everything. That's good. I like it. Number 4, the new curriculum really works on the practice of history. This is totally just agreeing with the fact that we live in the 21st century. When I was growing up, the availability of information was not what it is today. And even when I was growing up, the really 2 main sources of information I had for history classes was the library and my professor. So without those 2 things, I was completely lost. Today, with the advent of modern electronics, the internet and all of that, all the answers are at their fingertips. And so what the new curriculum does is it works on the practice of being an historian, knowing that the information is there. These kids don't have to go to archives anymore. They can actually look the stuff up right in your classroom. And that's amazing. And finally, number 5. I think this curriculum allows us to make for a better history classroom, one that's not tied to a lecture format. Now, I know there's a lot of discussion going on in the AP European community right now about the benefits of lecture versus the benefits of other things. Here's my take on it. Guys, it depends on your students. It depends on what your students know. It depends on what your students bring with you. It depends on your talents as a teacher. Hey, I consider myself a fairly good lecturer, but what I've found, what the studies show, is that when people sit and just get information, their minds wander, they are going to miss some of it, which is exactly why we sort of duplicate the whole process of learning. We say, go home and read these pages, and then when you come back into class, I'm going to tell you what was on those pages, which is the old way of doing things. This allows for new and different ways to experience the course. And personally, my approach is going to be to have information, for the most part, not completely, gotten by the students outside of class, whether that's by reading, whether that's through videos, whether that's through online simulations, however that is, and there's going to be a lot of different ways to do this. Students are going to gain the majority of their information outside of class, and then when they come in here, they're going to do the sorts of things in class that require my help, because they don't need my help to sit and read a textbook, and they don't need my help to sit and watch a video. They can learn this stuff on their own. And so my classroom, as I envision it, and we'll see how this goes, is going to turn into sort of a history lab. And that, I think, is not only going to help them understand the connections a whole lot more, but it's also going to help them engage with the content and come in and really be ready to go. All right, so diatribes aside, and I'm sorry for the long outburst there on educational pedagogy, but look, as I said, if you know your students and you know what works, then that's going to make your decisions on how to teach this new course. What I know from my experience is that my students are going to benefit more from a workshop environment that focuses on thinking skills, writing skills, and analysis skills, and getting them into the content. There are certainly lots of classes out there which are going to be able to do that the day they walk in the door. And so a lecture-based format is perfectly suited for them. So what you choose to do is completely up to you, obviously. But my approach is going to be one which tries to integrate not only technology, but also group presentations, group work, and collaboration into the whole formula to create a real different learning community. So that's my take on the new AP Euro curriculum, the benefits of it, at least as I see them now. If you're finding this stuff interesting, if you're finding this stuff helpful, please feel free to subscribe to my channel so that you'll be notified when I post new videos. I'll be posting more videos about the redesign. You can be assured of that throughout the year. I'm going to post some videos to get students excited about the different things and focusing on the skills. And, of course, I'm going to continue making content-based videos that you and your students and my students can use in class or outside of class in order to help them with the material. So anyway, until next time, my name's Paul Sargent. Thanks for watching.